Hey everyone, today's video is about myelin. Myelin is a fatty substance that insulates axons and speeds up the rate at which action potentials travel from one place to another. Neurons are cells that transmit information along axons as electrical impulses called action potentials. An action potential is a wave of depolarization caused by voltage-gated sodium channels. Sodium entering one part of an axon opens the neighboring channels, so this process perpetuates itself until the signal reaches the axon terminal. Myelin insulates an axon so that positive charge entering one part of the axon can cause depolarization a long way away. You'll see that myelin covers parts of the axon, but there are unmyelinated gaps in between that are called nodes of Ranvier. When positively charged ions enter one node, they affect the next node without leaking through the plasma membrane. This is going to speed up the action potential. When an action potential jumps from one node to another, it's a process called saltatory conduction. Unmyelinated axons conduct action potentials by continuous conduction. This is slower because each patch of membrane has to depolarize, and the electrical signal can degrade without insulation. Myelin is white, and white matter in the central nervous system is made up of myelinated axons. When we see white matter, we know this is an area of signal transmission. Gray matter is made up of cell bodies and unmyelinated axons. Gray matter denotes areas of signal processing because this is where different cells are talking to each other. There are two different types of cells that can myelinate axons. In the central nervous system, cells called oligodendrocytes can myelinate axons of several different neurons at once. Multiple sclerosis is a disease in which our immune system mistakenly attacks oligodendrocytes and myelin. This slows down action potentials and can lead to degradation of the axons. So that messes up normal signal transmission and processing in the central nervous system. In the peripheral nervous system, cells called Schwann cells form a myelin sheath by wrapping around the axon of a single neuron. When the immune system attacks myelination in the peripheral nervous system, it causes a disease called Guillain-Barré syndrome. To summarize this video, we learned that myelin is a fatty substance that insulates axons and causes action potentials to travel quickly down an axon. This happens by a process called saltatory conduction, where an action potential jumps from one gap in the myelin to another, or one node to another. Unmyelinated axons propagate an action potential more slowly by a process called continuous conduction. When myelination is disrupted, action potentials travel more slowly, and the axons can degenerate. This leads to diseases like multiple sclerosis and Guillain-Barré syndrome.